settle in, shift a little bit from side to side, front to back, finding what feels like the center of your seat. And start with a few deeper breaths, feeling the breath flow in through the nose. Begin to expand the chest, the ribs, the belly. And feeling the breath flow back up and out through the nose as your shoulders relax. And just take a few breaths in this way, letting the inhale create space within your body. And with your exhale, just simply landing into the space that you're in. All right, we'll join our palms in front of the heart. Interlace the fingers, press the palms forward and up. We'll start to reach up through one hand and up through the other side, left and right a few times. Gently tug on the fingers. Elongate each arm, each side of the body. All right, then let your hands separate. Take them behind the back. Interlace the fingers there. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Opening up across your chest, begin to gently turn the head from side to side. After a few times side to side, reach the chin up and drop it down. Again, lifting up and dropping down. Once more lifting and dropping. So as you bring your head up to center, we'll scoot the knuckles over towards the right side of the waist. Let the head gently fall to the right as you start to feel into the left side of the neck. Take the head a little bit forward and back. Again, a little bit forward and back. And then once more forward and back. All right, then ease the head up to center. We'll scoot the knuckles over towards the left side of the waist, hooking them there. Let the head fall to the left, sensing now into the right side of the neck. Let the head go a little bit forward and back. Again, a little forward and back. And once more forward and back. All right, then easing the head up to center. Release the arms, shrug the shoulders up and back and down. Again, shrugging up and back and down, and then once more up and back and down. All right, we'll take the right leg out at an angle. Left leg is still folded in. And then just start by walking your right hand down your right leg. Let the left hand come to the left shoulder, and we'll start with rotation. A couple of times in one direction. And a couple of times the opposite way. All right, then sweep the left arm up alongside your head, reaching over toward your right foot. Start to squeeze and release the fingers of your left hand, as well as rotate through the wrist a couple times each way. All right, with your next in-breath, lift up. Exhale that left hand towards the floor behind you. Take the right hand across to the left knee. Inhale, lift tall. And exhale and twist to your left side. Turn the head to look back. And then turn your head to look back over toward the right. And let the head keep turning slowly side to side, within your comfortable range of motion. Continue to notice and feel the breath flowing in through the nose, expanding the chest, the ribs, the belly, as well as the back, and then flowing back up and out again through the nose. All right, we'll take one more breath. And then slowly unravel back to center, and then keep untwisting so that you now face your straight right leg. And then take one hand on either side of that right leg and just walk the hands out, coming to a point of mild to moderate sensation in the back of your right leg. You might be on your hands, just letting the weight of your torso fall into your arms. You could also drop down onto your elbows, or forearms rather, onto the floor, maybe onto blocks, if you have those options. But again, just finding a comfortable amount of stretch in the back of that right leg so that you can relax into it. And take several deep breaths. All right, one more full breath. And slowly lift back up. We'll take the arms out to the sides. And then as we bring the arms forward, take the right arm underneath. And then either twist your arms together or take hands to opposite shoulders, but with the right arm underneath. Either way, each time you inhale, you're lifting your elbows up, creating a stretch in between the shoulder blades. Each time you exhale, relax the shoulders down and back. 2 more breaths. Inhale to lift the elbows. Exhale, relax the shoulders down and back. 1 more breath. All right, let the arms unravel. Take them out to the sides and up. And then we'll let that right elbow bend, so the right hand comes behind the back, probably upper back-ish. And then let your left hand grab a hold of that right elbow so that your right arm moves closer toward your head, just enough to feel a stretch in the back of the upper right arm. Pause there and breathe. All right, slowly release the arms. Let the hands come all the way to the floor. And then we'll switch legs. So left leg out, right leg in. Start by taking the left hand to the left leg and just walk the left hand down the left leg a moderate amount. Right hand finds the right shoulder and start with rotation. A couple of times in one direction. And a couple of times the opposite way. All right, then sweep the right arm up alongside your head, reaching the right hand toward the left foot, sensing all the way down the right side of the torso. Squeeze and release the fingers of your upper hand, as well as rotate through the wrist a couple of times each way. All right, then as you next inhale, lift up. Exhale that right hand toward the floor behind you. Left hand comes across to the right knee. Inhale, lift tall. And exhale and twist to the right. Turn the head to look back. Maintain the twist from the shoulders downwards as the head continuously turns side to side. All right, take one more cycle of breath. And then slowly unravel back through center and then keep twisting, or keep untwisting rather, until you face your left leg. Taking one hand to either side, walk the hands out as you forward fold over your left leg. Again, just come to a mild to moderate amount of stretch. So not your very last edge, but somewhere that feels comfortable to kind of let go into. All right, we'll take one more breath. And then just start to walk the hands in as you lift your torso up. Take the arms out to the sides. And then as we bring them forward, we'll take the left arm underneath this time. Again, either twisting the arms together or take hands to opposite shoulders, but with the left arm underneath. As you inhale, the elbows are lifting up, creating that stretch between the shoulder blades. As you exhale, shoulders relax back down. A couple more breaths. Inhale, lifting the elbows. Exhale, relax the shoulders back down. One more breath. All right, let the arms unravel. Take them back out to the sides and then up. We'll let the left elbow bend so the left hand comes behind the upper back. And then right hand guides the left arm closer towards the head, just enough to create that stretch in the back of your left upper arm. And then breathe. All right, one more cycle of breath. And then slowly release. All right, come down onto your back. As you make your way onto your back, we'll start with the knees bent, feet resting on the floor. And then just start to gently sway the knees side to side, releasing any remaining tension or gripping in the hips or back from almost 15 minutes of seated postures. Just letting go any unnecessary gripping that might still be there. All right, then we'll take both knees in toward the chest. Give them a gentle squeeze. Rock a little bit from side to side. All right, then we'll cross the right ankle over the left thigh. The right ankle, left thigh, bring the legs in toward the chest. Reach through for that left leg. You can grab around the shin or behind the knee, either way. We'll bring some rotation into the left ankle. Point and flex the foot, wiggle the toes. Move the left foot and ankle in all the ways that are possible. All All right, now we'll keep the legs connected to each other in this way, but just kind of release your arms so they're out of the way. And then use your left hand to guide both legs over to the left. So again, your legs are still in that figure 4 position, but your left hand is now just kind of holding your legs approximately at like waist level, so that now you can sweep that right arm back over to the right and create a very subtle twist while in the figure 4 stretch. So probably still feeling the outer upper hip, but just let that left hand kind of hold on to the leg so they stay put and don't slide away. And then if it's comfortable for your neck, turn your head over to the right as well. Let the eyes close or gaze beyond the right fingers. All right, take another 3 breaths. All right, somewhere after your 3rd breath, bring your head back to center. Guide the legs back to center as well. Let them uncross, briefly sway the knees side to side. All right, so we'll do the other side. So when you're ready, cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Bring the legs in toward the chest. Reach through for that right leg. Rock a bit side to side, as well as rotate through your right ankle. Point and flex the foot, wiggle the toes. Bring as much movement as is comfortable and possible into that right ankle and foot. All right, then keeping the legs connected to each other, we're going to turn this posture into a twist. So release the hands, but again, the legs are still connected to each other. Let your right hand guide both legs over to the right. So that right hand is holding on to the legs so they don't slip away. And then left arm goes over to the left at an angle that feels interesting for your left shoulder. And again, if it's comfortable for the neck, let the head turn now to the left. Eyes closed or gazing past the left fingers. Several deep breaths. Take another 3 breaths. All right, after your 3rd breath, bring the head back to center. Bring the legs back to center. Again, let them uncross and gently sway the knees a couple of times from side to side. All right, then roll to one side. Press yourself up onto hands and knees. As we come to hands and knees, we'll take the right leg directly out to the side, so right out from the hip. And hands under shoulders, we'll practice cat-cow with the right leg out to the side. As you inhale, belly is dropping, head and tail lift. As you exhale, tuck and round. Couple more breaths. All right, one more round of breath. As you bring your torso back to neutral, pick that right leg up, cross it over your left leg, and drop the right toes towards the floor on the left. Curve the spine to the left as you peek back at the right foot, sensing all the way up the right side of the body. All right, as you bring your torso back to neutral, we'll step the right foot forward to the right hand. Coming into a long lunge as you scoot your left knee back. We'll start with both hands, either on the floor or on blocks, or whatever you might have that is similar, maybe a bolster. Letting the weight of the hips drop down toward the floor. Now you can find whatever angle feels right for your hips today, so maybe the right toes are pointed forward, maybe they turn out to the side a little bit, maybe the knee itself even drops out to the side. But just find an interesting angle to work with. You can definitely shift your hips a little bit from side to side if that helps you to relax. Sometimes holding really still, we end up not relaxing, so a little bit of movement of the hips can help. All right, take another 3 breaths. All right, somewhere after your 3rd breath, shift your hips back, take that right leg back. We'll pause briefly in child's pose as we sit back towards our feet. Folding over or between the thighs, release the head. Take a couple of breaths. All right, then rising back up onto hands and knees. This time we'll take the left foot directly out to the side. Again, cat and cow, but with your left leg out to the side. As you inhale, belly drops, head and tail lift. As you exhale, tuck and round. Couple more breaths. All right, one more full breath. All right, as you bring your torso back to neutral, pick that left leg up, Cross it over the right leg, drop the toes all the way to the floor on the right. Curve the spine to the right as you peek back at your left foot, sensing all the way up the left side of the body. All right, as you now bring your torso to neutral, step the left foot forward to the left hand. Stepping into a long lunge, scoot the right knee back. Again, you might have your hands on the floor or on blocks. Your hands could be palms down or fists down, depending on what works best for you. Remember, you can change the angle of the front leg, maybe turn the toes out, or even let the knee drop out to the side if that feels interesting in your body. All right, take another 3 deep breaths. All right, after your third breath, slowly shift back to hands and knees. This time we'll tuck our toes under and lift up into downward facing dog. Give the head a gentle shake, yes and no. All right, then release down to your knees and come all the way forward and down onto the front of your body. And then we'll walk our arms forward so the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Gently press down into your forearms as you lift your heart. Reaching it forward, reach back through your toes. All right, then lower your heart down to the floor. We'll slide the right arm straight out to the side, so directly out from the shoulder. Turn your head over to the left, resting your head on the floor. Press down into your left hand. As you turn your chest and hips away from the floor to find a stretch in the front of your right shoulder. Your legs might be stacked. One on top of the other, you might step your top foot back. You might bend both knees and kind of bring them forward a little bit. Another way to support. But whichever variation you take with your legs, focus on relaxing and letting go through that right shoulder, chest, and arm. All right, take one more breath. And then rolling back onto your front. Take that right arm down alongside the torso to pause and rest. Take a breath or two. And then we'll do the same on the left side. So take your left arm directly out to the side. Turn your head over to the right, resting the head down. Press down into your right hand, turning your chest and hips away from the floor. Again, maybe you're stacking your legs. Maybe you take the top foot back or keep one or both knees down on the floor. But again, just finding a leg position that supports the stretch in your left shoulder so that you can largely melt and relax into the shape, letting go of effort, noticing the flow of breath. All right, take one more breath. And then as you roll back onto your front, let that left arm come down alongside the torso to pause and rest. A couple of breaths. All right, then press back up onto hands and knees. All right, so before we come into pigeon, go ahead and bring your right knee forward to your right hand as though you were going to come into pigeon. And then we'll do a few cycles of cat and cow here. So right knee is close to the right hand, left knee is back further. Inhale as you drop the belly, lifting head and tail. Exhale as you tuck and round. Couple more breaths. All right, one more breath that way. Then as you bring your spine back to neutral now, slide the left leg back. Maybe the right hip comes down to the floor. Maybe you have a cushion or a block or a bolster that you could put underneath your right hip for a little support. And then drop down onto your elbows. Let the weight shift a little side to side as you find just the right amount of stretch in your body today. All right, one more breath here. And then coming back up onto your hands, lift the torso and very slightly arc the spine back, any amount that's comfortable and possible within your body today. Take 3 big breaths. All right, after your third breath, shift your weight towards your right hip. So move the block if you're sitting on it. You want to be able to come all the way to your right hip and then swing that left leg forward, cross it over top. All right, now your choice if you want to keep both knees bent or if you want to let that bottom leg straighten out. Either way, the left knee is the one on top. So right arm comes around to grab that left leg, left hand towards the floor behind. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale and twist to your left. Turn your head to look back over your left shoulder. And then breathe. All right, slowly release from head and neck and shoulders and the rest of the torso. So whether you still have both knees bent or you let the bottom leg straighten, try to bring the top knee a little bit more over the bottom knee. So maybe that bottom leg is straight, maybe it's bent, but try to bring the top knee over the bottom knee as much as possible. And then allow yourself to fold over your legs. Hands can come to the floor for support. Bring the forehead toward the top knee so the back is rounding gently. And again, notice and feel the breath flowing in and down, largely expanding the back. Exhale, relaxing into support, into the earth. All right, slowly begin to lift up, walking the hands in. Exhale out the mouth. All right, we'll come back to hands and knees. Do the second side. Starting by bringing the left knee towards the left wrist. We're going to do cat and cow in this sort of odd position with the right knee further back than the left knee. So 3 rounds here. Inhale, dropping the belly. Lift the head and tail. Exhale, tuck and round. Twice more, inhale. And exhale. And last one, breathing in. And breathing out. And then as your spine comes back to neutral, slide the right knee back. So you can come into your pigeon pose. Feel free to support underneath your outer left hip with a cushion or bolster or block. Drop down onto your elbows. Shift the weight a little side to side. And let yourself relax. Make any little micro adjustments as needed to keep yourself safe and comfortable. And simply breathe. All right, take one more cycle of breath. And then come back up onto your hands. Lifting the torso, arc the spine back any amount that is comfortable and possible in your body today. All right, if you are sitting on anything with that left hip, go ahead and move it out of the way so you can shift your weight to the left. Bring that right leg forward, cross it over top, Now you want both sits bones on the floor here for this rotation. So maybe the bottom leg stays bent, maybe the bottom leg straightens out. Left arm hugs the right leg, right hand towards the floor behind. Inhale, lifting tall. Exhale and twist to your right side. Turn the head to look back. Relax the gaze, perhaps close the eyes, and breathe. All right, and then slowly untwist from head and neck, shoulders, rest of the torso. Let your top knee come a little bit more over the bottom knee. And then start to walk the hands out as you gently fold over your legs. Forehead comes towards the top knee as you allow the back to round. Sending breath into the back side of the body. All right, take one more breath. And slowly lift up. Let the legs uncross. Gently tap the backs of the legs against the floor. All right, then we'll come back into our comfortable seat. Of just about a minute or so for alternate nostril breathing. So using your right hand, peace fingers into the palm, right thumb to right nostril, inhale left side. Close it off, open the right and exhale. Inhale right side. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. And then release your hand down, letting the breath flow without restriction. And we'll join our palms in front of the heart as we bow to the light within ourselves. We also bow to the light within each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May we know peace. Thank you again for being here. Enjoy the rest of your evening.